Let's go to index.html and create our social media platform. So we're going to go all the way into the bottom. Just remember about the clear fix that we were using over here. And here between a div over here and this footer, we're going to create a section. Again, this is going to be titles again. So this is going to be like our little banner. So I'm going to say section class, and again, it's going to be class titles. So it's already going to be styled for us. And over here, what we're going to write, and let's go here and let's check it out. Where it is, right? This is where we'll be working. And I'm going to say that I'm going to create a H1 over here like this. And I'm going to say that this is going to be follow coffee on these platforms. Here like this. So now we have our banner, and obviously because they're the same color, they're obviously looking like one big thing, right? So over here, what we're going to do is create another div, and this is going to be a different class. We're going to say that this is going to be class, but this is going to be also class articles. So this is going to save us a styling, and over here right away we're going to write a clear fix, just because we're going to be floating, and also we're going to add a class small. So this is going to be the only class we're going to have to style after that. So next we're going to create a section, first section over here like this, and we're going to say that within that section, first we're going to place a link over here like this with a href over here of hashtag, and then we're going to add a class black, which is another class we're going to have to actually style it. And over here we're going to write that within this link, we're going to place a span, like awesome font icon. So I'm going to say span class, and over here it's going to be fa and fa Facebook. So this is going to be our Facebook icon, Facebook over here. And after that, what we're going to do is we're going to make it pretty big. So I'm going to say something like this, right? And then I'm going to close it out, close our span, and as you can see, this is my Facebook icon. Now, after that, what I would want to do is actually create a heading 2 underneath. Over here, I'm just going to say heading 2, and I'm just going to write that this is Facebook. Over here, pretty easy. And what we're going to do over here, we're obviously going to copy this, right? So over here, this section, we're going to create like 3 of them. So I'm just going to say copy. I'm going to create a little bit more room. We're going to paste this over here, and we're going to paste it one more time. Paste it like this, and this one we're going to say that this is going to be Instagram, and this is going to be a Twitter, and over here we're also going to say, obviously we would have to change it to Twitter. So let's see, did it work? Yeah, it did. And over here we're going to do a Instagram, right? So where's our Instagram over here. So now we have 3 icons, and we have some text underneath, and we have over here again this little banner which says follow coffee on these platforms, right? So now we're pretty much done with HTML, and let's go ahead to our main CSS and actually style these classes, including small and black. And over here we had a class red that I actually didn't add because I would want this text to be over here red. So I'm going to say class, and I'm going to class red over here like this, and also I'm going to do it over here. I'm going to add class, and this is going to be red, and the last one also is going to be red. So that's my mistake. I should have done it with the first one and then just copy it, but well, what the hell. So here we go to main CSS, and the question where we want to do that, I guess in between article section and image, we can just say that class red. First of all, I guess we're going to say that color is going to be obviously red, and also I would want to do a line height, right? So here I'm going to say that color red like this, and obviously I'm going to say like line height, I'm going to give it like 1.2 EMs, right? Something pretty easy. EM over here like this. Now after that, let's actually style the class black right away. So we're going to say that class black here, and it's going to be pretty simple. It's going to be color black, because I would want my icons over here, these social media icons, to be black. So again, another thing is that you can see that right now they're actually pretty much looking good over here on this screen. And the reason for that is because we already styled them as a section, right? We already made them pretty much a, like how we created our old sections, right? Because we give it a class section, it's actually styling exactly the same way. So then that's a nice thing if you actually create already one style. And if you add the same class, obviously, to these 3 floats, we don't really need to do anything, right? So we already have done our work over here, our media query. Now, if we would want over here, if we don't want to have, let's say, this look over here like this, we could obviously create another media query, right? How do we do that? We actually would create a media query for a smaller screen. So over here, I'm going to say media screen, and we're going to say minimum width, or here like this, and we're going to say that this time it's going to be 200 pixels. And over here, we're going to select a class small that we created. And I'm going to say section over here because I want all the sections that has a class small. And I would want to say that I would want to float them left, right? So you can see what happens. They right away floated left. Now, the good news is that we can actually use this width and this margin. And the reason for that is because when we were calculating this for 700 pixels, right? And we said that we would want them to be 220 each, and then the margins to be 20, right, pixels. However, because we're using percentages, even as our screen gets smaller, we can still use the same thing. So I'm just going to copy this over here like this. I'm going to say float left, start a new line, paste it over here. And you can see again, the problem is the last one doesn't want to do it because, again, the margin right, this one still has this margin right. So right now we already know that is a very easy fix. So we say small section over here, last child. And we would want that last child to have a margin right, and we want a 0, right? So right away they all fit in here. Now the problem over here, you can see this text, right? So obviously we probably would want to have a, let's say, smaller text. So what we would need to do over here, we're going to say that, let's say all the, let's say what it was, H2, right? So we would want to say small section over here, H2. This is what we were working with. And over here, I'm just going to say the font size. I don't know. We're just going to say that something like, I don't know, 0.5 EMs. Let's check it out. Well, that's too small. So we can probably go with 1 EM. 1 EM, right? So 1.5 maybe. Something that would actually fit, but wouldn't mess our view, right? So 1.5 I think is going to be a good one, right? So what happens is that, again, we created right now this floating elements with a smaller screen, right? And obviously as we're going like over here, you can see that they still are floating, and the same as these ones, right? So the last thing that we actually need to do is to add our jQuery over here for this button, so we can actually pop this menu up and down, right? Even for the bigger screen or smaller screen. So let's go ahead and let's actually add our jQuery.